What is going on, everybody? I'm your average gamer. As always, I hope you're having a fantastic day. And in this video, I have some of the most sweatiest and competitive lobbies I've ever ran into so far, so be sure to stay tuned for that. I'm also still a little sick. I thought I was getting better, but then it just hit me like a truck, and I don't know. I've been sick for like the past week, and it sucks. It's kind of, hindering me from making more videos and doing stuff like that, but I promise you, as soon as I feel better, I'll get back on my grind. But I am trying my best to pump these videos out for you. Typically I have way more energy and I can do all these things, but with my nose being stuffed and all that, plus I have asthma, so whenever I have a cold, that always, affects me in some sort of way. But I'm still trying, okay? So like, no matter what, nothing's going to stop me from pumping out these videos. So I've been playing this game for about 2 weeks now, and again, this is my first Overwatch experience, but I do think that I've gotten pretty good. But I gotta give it to the ranking system in this game. As much as I might bitch about it sometimes, it does a good job putting you against good opponents a lot of the times. Now, I complain about the skill-based matchmaking sometimes because there's multiple times, and I know a lot of you guys can relate to this, where there's just a few people on your team that just, aren't helping you or doing anything, and you're like, okay, what's going on here? And the other team has everybody working together doing well, or has 2 or 3 insane players carrying the entire game and stuff like that. And in a game like this, having lackluster teammates can affect everybody's playstyle and everybody's ability to do good. As a viewer, I feel like you should even be able to notice the difference between my first couple of games and this one. I mean, granted, my first couple of games weren't in ranked, but my my first placement was gold 4, and then I went to gold 1. And now I'm plat 4, and now I'm about to be re-ranked here in a little bit. I do believe that I'm probably going to be like plat 2 or something, because these games are getting extremely harder. But, that's just me guessing. Who knows? Maybe I'll get demoted because it's getting harder and it's like, hey, you don't belong here. I don't know how any of this works. At the end of it all, I'm just having a good time. I'm having fun playing this game. And again, I do enjoy the competitive aspect. I'm a very, very competitive person, so all that is just fun to me. One thing that's happening in this game, though, that's stopped me from playing Call of Duty and 2K is the toxicity in this game. Now, I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm like the most lovable person in the world. Like, I get frustrated. I understand people's frustrations, but there's like almost an every game thing where somebody's complaining and crying about something. And I get it, dude. Like, I understand. I played the game. I'm not gonna say long enough to really understand everything, but I played the game long enough to see both sides of lobbies and good players and bad players, and the difference between a good tank, a bad tank, a good support, and a bad support, or even just another bad or good damage character. It's just, I don't know, like, I see both sides. My favorite thing, it's not my favorite thing, it's more sarcasm, but like when somebody's like, team difference. It's like, yeah, but I mean, you're not really doing much neither. It's like, I don't know, dude. I find it extremely funny. It's like, what do you get out of saying that? Is it an ego thing? Is it gonna make you feel better? I don't know. I do try to keep an open mind though, because I was somewhat similar like this in Call of Duty, but I hate Call of Duty. I'll say it a million times, I do not like Call of Duty. As much time as I put into Call of Duty, I hate it. It was just one of those things where it was popular, it was big at the time, and there wasn't really any other game that I haven't played. I played all these other games, and so when I was bored, I would play with Call of Duty. Plus, all my friends would play Call of Duty because again, of how popular it was. Now, this might sound like a super unpopular opinion, but I only liked Fortnite for a bit as well, only because it was super popular. I liked it up to the point till like season 2 or 3 dropped, and all these super crazy sweaty nerds just took over the game, and I couldn't even play it casually anymore. And that's not a game I was trying to sit there and sweat and grind in and practice building for hours and hours and hours. I didn't care about any of that. I just wanted to play the game. I don't know. I like competitive aspects of games, but I feel like sometimes they might ruin it. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I completely understand that it will bring a lot of people or a huge audience to the game itself, but again, in my opinion, like, Call of Duty is the most annoying game ever, because there's metas, right? And for anyone that doesn't know what a meta is, it's like the best thing in the game or what everyone else is using. So everyone else in the entire game is using that exact same thing. Dude, Call of Duty puts me to sleep. For example, in that game, the only reason I even played it is because I would basically snipe every single game. I enjoyed sniping. I've always enjoyed sniping. That's what I've always done. And without that, I don't think I would have done anything. I just don't like playing those games. I find it extremely boring. Again, it's just my opinion. I'm not trying to sit here and convince you guys of anything. But I've played Call of Duty for years, and I just feel as if it's ruining a lot of other great games. The best and only example I can really give of this is, it comes from my experience too, where again, I grew up playing Call of Duty, never really played anything else. And then I started to play a bunch of other single player games and multiplayer games. I was like, yo, these games are lit, man. You know? And then it's not just me though. It's like either my brother or some of my friends that'll like, hey man, you should definitely play this game. I promise you like it. And then they play it and it's like, wow, it's like, you know, they fall in love with it. They can't stop talking about it. It's like, yeah. And it's just, we're so like stuck on Call of Duty and stuff like that for no reason, you know? I don't know. I think it's just nostalgia things or purposes, because that's mainly the reason I play Call of Duty. I just like sniping, and like I said, I've always liked sniping. I did it back in MW3. Me and my friends would play Call of Duty growing up and all that. But me doing that so much, I'm burnt out. I completely understand why, and it's so much fun for a lot of people. I really do, because my first time playing MW3, I was hyped up, man. I would play that game for hours and hours and hours, and then again, it's just my thing, my preference, where I've just played it too much. I'm a little burnt out. And I think that's exactly why I'm liking this game as much as I am, because it's a complete different type of game. You know, this is a 5v5 competitive shooter, and I like that, where you're not dying in a blink of an eye. You have to kind of work as a team, and you can make huge plays by yourself. I said that in another video. You individually can make huge plays that alter the entire game, and that to me is a great thing to have in any video game. To be 100% honest with you, I firmly believe that me playing a bunch of these other games, whether it was single player, multiplayer, whatever game it was, really helped me just play video games better in general. The best example I can give of this is, like, say I'm playing Red Dead or Ghost of Tsushima or whatever it is, and I'm just exploring everything, trying different weapons or armor sets or whatever it is. That's just making my brain wire differently. You know, I'll notice a difference in something. And then when I play another game, I'll try to find that same thing where it's like, okay, what's the difference between this, and how does this work? And when you play other games, you start to grasp that concept a lot faster, pretty much. Going back to when I said that I think Call of Duty ruins games, the main reason I think that is because playing one game can be so fun. I understand that, right? But there's so many people that I know personally that just now started playing the Spider-Man game, and they're like in love with it, and they're huge comic fans, and they're huge Spider-Man fans. I'm like, dude, like, why would you never even try it? He's like, well, I thought it was gonna be bad. Like, what would make you think that? You know, it's because I just feel like you're so blinded with Call of Duty that you're not gonna try anything else. Like, that's the same reason I didn't play Red Dead 2, is because I was like, ah, dude, this is so slow, this is so boring. And that you know how ignorant you have to be to call Red Dead a bad game? If you call it a bad game, you do not subscribe to my YouTube channel, okay? Because I am obsessed with that game, the story, everything about that is perfect to me. I had somebody say overrated, and I wanted to pull up their IP and find out where they lived and go fly to their house and beat them. Because, like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Now again, I try to be as open-minded as possible. I like to listen to everyone's preference, but when it comes to Red Dead 2, I don't give a fuck what your preference is. It better be that you like the game. Dude, the game is amazing. It really is. I'll promote it as much as I possibly can. That and God of War are my absolute favorite things in just gaming. And it's funny because they're the more recent games too, but dude, the time that I spent playing the game, the way they made me feel, and the way that I play games now, it's all because of them. I've asked this in my last video, but I'm still curious. I'm curious every single video what your favorite game is, whether it's an Xbox, a PC game, a PlayStation game, or even a Nintendo or a Game Boy game, whatever it is. I'm a gamer. You know, I've played every single game. Okay, maybe not every single game, but I have played a lot of games. So I'm just curious to see if your favorite game is something that I played and that I like as well. So be sure to comment that down below. Anyway, that's going to do it for my commentary. The video is pretty much over, so I hope that you stick around and watch the rest of the gameplay and see how it ends. If you enjoyed it, a like would mean an absolute ton, and be sure to subscribe. Both are free, and they help me out a ton. As always, I love y'all, and I hope you guys stay smooth. Peace.